Hello everyone. So Venus has just made her retrograde motion official on March 1st. This is going to last until April 12th, and this wraps up her Venusian cycle. Her Venusian cycle is 8 years. It began in March of 2017, and through her retrograde motions and her orbiting of the sun in a period of 8 years, she makes a beautiful 5-petaled flower in the sky, or 5-pointed star. This is a pentagram and it is incredible. So this is a completion of her 8-year cycle. She is wrapping up her final 5th point in this retrograde in Pisces. Pisces is her exaltation sign. This is a period of deep healing, karmic retribution, closure, reframing of lessons in love, money, and creativity, integrating our lessons, walking forward with the culmination of our lessons, and starting a new cycle of Venus's 8 years. Starting a new cycle, having learned, having evolved, hopefully, over these past 8 years in terms of love, money, and creativity. Venus will stay in Revati. She begins her retrograde in Revati and in the first part of the Venus retrograde, and then moves on to Uttara Bhadrapada. In Revati, this is a Mercury-ruled nakshatra presided over by Pushan, who is the nurturer and the guide of souls, representing endings, transcendence, and the guide into the next life. Some of us, especially those of us who are experiencing the eclipses in the 8th house, such as myself, are seeing this play out literally. I've just lost somebody who's been very, very, very close to me for 27 years, the day before Venus went retrograde. And for some of us, or most of us, this is metaphorical and represents the next phase of life. This could be transcending in your career, transcending in your artistry. However it plays out for us, and this is just a broad overview, it is definitely transcendence and closure and moving to the next chapter in life. This particular retrograde taking place in Pisces, which is Venus's exaltation place, the emphasis is on spiritual surrender, as Pisces is the original ruler of the 12th house, the moksha house of liberation. This is the house that all souls pass through as they disincarnate. So this is truly about letting go of anything that weighs us down, letting go of any baggage, letting go of any heavy karma, so that we can truly be a spiritual being and truly fly. So we're going to be reviewing any illusions, any baggage that we don't need in love, in money, in creativity, any hindrances. Oh, my creativity needs to only express itself this way. I have to be this way in love. I have to be this way with money. If those are not serving us, if those are heavy, we're healing them. Old lovers, old financial decisions may resurface, not for reconnection, but to be released, to be understood from a different perspective, to be reframed. Art, music, rituals can be playing a huge role in healing and healing emotional wounds and just healing in general. And you know, relying upon these practices can be so beneficial for us during this transit, especially anything that uses our voice, such as singing or chanting can really help. And then in the late teens of March, like around between the 18th and 21st, Venus moves into the second phase of her retrograde in Pisces, where she moves into Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra, which is more of a serious nakshatra, more serious than Revati. This is a very deep nakshatra. It's ruled by Saturn and presided over by Ahirbudnya, which is a Naga deity, a half serpent, half human, residing in the deep, 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 deep waters of Pisces. So this is about digging deep into the subconscious, releasing old stored patterns, releasing old emotions, and facing our karma, facing our financial karma, our love karma, our creative karma, just facing our karma and receiving a karmic retribution. So what attachments or illusions need to be burned away for our true values to emerge? You know, Venus rules values. What we valued 8 years ago may be very different than what we value today. And 8 years ago was when she began her cycle, making that lovely pentagram in the sky in March of 2017. Who were we back then? What were our values? How have we evolved? Where are we now? Are those still our values? Have our values deepened? Perhaps we need to forgive ourselves. Perhaps we made some grave decisions, some grave choices that didn't turn out very well for us. Perhaps we hurt people. Perhaps we were hurt by others. Forgiveness is an enormous theme. Forgiveness will truly set all of us free. And, you know, we'll be cutting the ties with draining past patterns, draining past cycles. We're also going to be closer to our ancestors. Pisces, the original ruler of the 12th house, is the house of the ancestors. And for us in the Northern Hemisphere, we are in the North and, or we are in the, on the medicine wheel, we are in the North. And the North represents ancestors. So our ancestors are very nearby to us in this time, and intentionally being close with them during this Venus retrograde can give us great, great benefits and assist us in forgiveness and assist us in our own personal healing process. So wrapping up this final pentagram, Venus's final cycle, this is sealing the deal. In any lessons we've been learning in love, abundance, and values over the past 8 years, we're reaching a moment of karmic purification. So if you reach this moment and you lose, it's okay. It is okay. That is Venus, that is Pisces purifying your karma. It's okay. Money comes in, money comes out. The tide is high, the tide is low, and the tide is high again. If you reach this karmic payoff and you receive, rejoice. Continue. We are starting a new Venusian cycle where we integrate our lessons and we live our lives now through our new values, and we move forward and we create new karma. And hopefully we create new enlightened karma. And instead of creating unconsciously, we create more consciously. So practical advice, the number one rule in Venus retrograde is we do not get into relations with people. So sorry that the video cut off there. So our number one rule for Venus retrograde is we do not get into relationships with people because we can't see them clearly. We are missing key information about them. So never get into a new relationship with Venus retrograde. Do not make a large investment because you're missing key information. You can't see clearly. Always wait until Venus stations direct, and if you can even wait until she gets out of her shadow period, that is even the best. It's another 2 weeks after she moves direct. Trust the process. This is a soul cleansing transit. Trust what dissolves. We're going to be seeing things from a new, higher perspective now. Sometimes our mind wants to hold on to versions of stories. Allow the versions of the stories to change. Allow them to dissolve. Allow them to end, and allow yourself to forgive. If you would like for me to look at your specific chart and assist you in navigating this Venus retrograde and pinpointing the lessons and assisting in the integrations of all the lessons of the past 8 years, I would love to read for you. You can access my Book Now calendar through visiting my Instagram, 13 Divine Star Codes, and on my profile there's a Book Now tab. You can click it and it takes you right to my scheduling link. So I'm truly wishing you all a very healing, nourishing, and very liberating Venus retrograde.